look, a whole bunch of ingredients.
Delicious ingredients.
And look, best kitchen helper ever. And she's even going to give us some tipper tappers. Honey, I don't know how much of this you can eat, but I guess we'll find out. I'm sure you'll get a snack at some point. Oh my goodness, those tipper tappers today. I got nothing. Look, nothing. You figure out what we're making just by looking at these ingredients? I can tell you what we're not making is we're not making expired cinnamon rolls from the fridge. We tried that, didn't we, hun?
Yeah, that didn't work out.
That didn't work out. So, it's been a month. I think we're over our fear of cinnamon rolls, especially because these are not from the fridge. We're going to make homemade cinnamon rolls. You guys have been begging us to do this for quite a while since we brought this channel back. So we're going to do it. We're going to make homemade cinnamon rolls today. All of the ingredients are going to be listed down below, and I will list them out as we go through each process. But before I do that, you're going to need 2 eggs at room temperature. You're going to need 2 sticks of butter plus 5 tablespoons of butter, also at room temperature, and then 6 ounces of cream cheese at room temperature. So before you even start this, get your eggs out, get your butter out, get your cream cheese out. Now you know. Come back to the video after all that stuff is warm. So we are going to be using the KitchenAid mixer for this. We have the dough hook on it. The first thing we're going to need is 1 cup of milk and 2 1/4 teaspoons of active yeast. We need to get our milk to 110 degrees. You want it warm so it can activate the yeast. So we're just going to go ahead and slowly microwave this and check the temperature. All right, we got our milk to about 110. We're going to pour the yeast in here. Look, there it is. When you go to use your yeast, if you are using active dry yeast, you're going to want to mix it all together and then let it sit for about 5 to 10 minutes. It'll start to bubble. If you're using instant yeast, you just want to mix it together till it's dissolved.
You're also going to want to make sure that if you have a glass bowl or even a
stainless steel,
just get it warm a little bit,
Yeah.
A little bit above room temperature.
Yeah, because this is going to drop the temperature of the milk. So Jamie did run this under some warm water to bring the bowl up to temperature. So we're going to take the warm milk, pour it right in here, and then we want to pretty much stir that together until that yeast is dissolved. All right, that's mostly dissolved. That's what we want it to be, mostly dissolved. Now we're going to start adding all the other ingredients. So we're going to add 2 farm fresh room temperature eggs. We're going to add a 1/2 cup of regular sugar, 2 teaspoons of kosher salt, 1/4 teaspoon of floof powder. What kind of floof powder is it this time? Baking soda. 5 tablespoons of a tower of butter. Softened butter. Gonna go right in there. Now comes the fun part. The next thing we're adding is 4 1/2 cups of all-purpose flour. We're gonna add all that slowly in there so it doesn't floof everywhere. And then we're gonna start mixing it together. I should go check in on the other kitchen helpers while you're doing it. Oh look, best kitchen helper number 2 and 3 are in here taking a nap. I'm sure it had nothing to do with the fact that you pulled a sled today. Like, we pulled a sled today. It was super fun. But now we're sleepy. Yep. A happy dog is a tired dog. Oh, and if you're wondering, no, Memphis did not pull a sled. But she did go for a 1-mile walk today, which is pretty good for Memphis. Okay, dough hook on. Lock the machine. We are going to run this on low to incorporate everything. And then we're going to turn it up a little bit higher. So low, and we really just want to incorporate all of those ingredients together. Okay, it's pretty incorporated now. So now that it's all incorporated and starting to look like dough, we're going to put this on a medium speed and let it do its thing. Like a dough ball. So basically, you want it to do this until it starts to pull away from the sides. Once it pulls away from the sides, you have your dough ball. Now, we're going to transfer this to another bowl right here, but we're going to put some non-stick spray on here. You want to make sure that it gets a little bit of that oil on all of it. So like put it in there and flip it over a few times. Now we're going to cover this with a towel and we're going to let it sit here for about 1 to 2 hours. We want this to pretty much double in size. So it will pretty much fill up this bowl. Do your thing. We'll come check back in a minute. Our dough is proofing in the oven. It's just about ready. So we're going to go ahead and make the middle. And look, second best kitchen helper ever has arrived. Hi. How's it going? Back to the KitchenAid mixer. Now, you can either do this by hand with a hand mixer or you can do this in the KitchenAid mixer, but we're basically going to make the filling part right now. We're creaming all the things together.
Okay.
All right, 3/4 cup of brown sugar. That's actually a combination of light and dark brown sugar because I mixed ours together.
It doesn't matter.
You can use whatever you want. 2 tablespoons of cinnamon into the bowl. Holy cow. Don't breathe that. 3/4 of a teaspoon of that kosher-y salt. Pause. I know I said 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt here. It's 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt. And then 1 stick of butter. A stick of butter at room temperature.
Yep, I was gonna say
It's
softened.
like softened, yeah.
It's very soft.
Butter. That smells really good.
Yeah,
Can we just eat this part? So we're gonna mix this together, and then we're gonna start rolling out the dough. Oh no, there's a piece of paper! Nobody wants to eat that. All right, let's whisk it. Whiskey business. Use the other attachment, not the whisk. This one, use this attachment. That's the one that's actually gonna mix it together properly. Here we go. There we go. Now it's gonna cream it together. All right, this is all creamed together. Now we're gonna roll out our dough. We're also gonna get a 9x13 pan and spray it with a nonstick spray. Flouring the surface. All right, ready to grab the dough. All right, our dough has about doubled in size. We're gonna roll it out on here. So we've got this rolled out. You want it to kind of be about a square. You want it to be about 18 inches because we're gonna wanna cut this into 12 pieces. That is the plan. So we're gonna take the filling and we're gonna try to coat the entire thing with filling, spread it around slowly so you're not tearing your dough. Yeah, we'll kind of like get it out there and then spread it around. I love how Memphis is just sitting there like, hey, maybe I could have some. I'm sorry, you can't have any of this stuff. I told you that. So the trick to this is the friction. This works the best. And you're kind of just painting it. You can kind of paint it in one direction, spread it out. But if you keep that friction going, it keeps it heated up just enough to make it spread, and you want it to go to all the edges.
Yeah, and we're gonna be cutting this way.
Yep.
So this strip isn't as important as these strips.
Yes.
So get this side just a little bit better so we can get all 12 pieces.
I think we got it.
And I think we're gonna just cut it first and then roll it, right?
Yep, we're gonna do it the different way.
The easy way.
Beautiful.
We'll see.
So instead of trying to roll the whole thing and then cutting it, we're doing this trick that we saw on the internet where you kind of do this and then we'll roll each one individually. It gives us a little bit more control with what we're doing. And of course the two edges for ours are going to be a little bit smaller, but that's okay. I think we got this. We're, like I said, about 1.5 inches. We got this. They're all cut. We're going to start rolling them. And you don't want to roll them super tight. Just roll them together just like that. And then cut side down. Perfect. Okay, seriously, the pizza cutter trick and then slowly rolling these together. Look at how nice these look. Trying to do it with the string and the knife where they squish and do all that. These are beautiful, hon. This is going to be perfect. Ooh, these are looking great. Now, you're going to want to cover these and let them rise again for about another 30 to 40 minutes or so. Go ahead and preheat your oven to 400 degrees. We are going to now put these in the oven, which is preheated to 400 degrees for about 20 to 24 minutes. They're going to get lightly golden brown on top. We're going to put them in right now. Okay, so we did 20 minutes. You can see the top is starting to get just a little bit brown. It looks darker on camera than it is in real life. Now I'm going to let these cool for 30 minutes to an hour, and then we're gonna frost them. You can frost them right when they come out, but I feel like it just melts all the frosting and it doesn't look as good. So we're gonna let them cool just a little bit, and then we're gonna show you how to make the frosting. You're gonna take your 6 ounces of softened cream cheese and put it in a bowl. Again, you can do this with your KitchenAid or with a hand mixer. Wait, there's creamy, cheesy. So tired from cooking, she fell asleep. Let's see if we can wake her up with the creamy, cheesy. Creamy, cheesy. Whoa! Did I wake you up with the creamy, cheesy? Look, I found something you can have. Oh, yes. Is that good stuff? Weird. Second best kitchen helper ever has arrived. Oh my goodness. And third best kitchen helper ever? Apparently that's the power of the cream cheese. Well, technically your second best kitchen helper ever, but I feel like I should give it to you. Good stuff? Say, heck yeah, creamy cheesy. Look at you sitting all pretty. There you go. Good stuff? Yeah. 1/2 cup of softened butter into the bowl. We're gonna add 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. And then we're gonna add 1 cup of powdered sugar. We're also gonna add a little bit of heavy whipping cream to this, but we're actually gonna mix this together to cream it together first. So go ahead and mix it. So you can see it's pretty thick. We wanna thin this out just a little bit. So we're gonna pour a little bit of heavy whipping cream in. Don't use more than 1/4 cup and start with just, a little splash. And we're gonna mix it some more. Now we're gonna take this and spread it all over this. Truth be told, I only let them cool for about 30 minutes, which was perfect because the icing didn't like super melt down the side. It stayed on the top a little bit more, which is what I wanted. If you want it to be super melty, do it as soon as it comes out of the oven. If you want it to look more like this, wait about 30 minutes. And yeah, now we gotta do that thing where we try them. The house smells amazing. Oh my goodness. All right, I think we're getting ready to try these things. Nice cut piece, looks nice and fluffy. Probably still hot. Yeah. Yeah? Did we do it? You know what they're not? They're not hockey puck cinnamon rolls.
By far. Nope.
They look amazing. They turned out amazing. All right. I think that's a win. Look at that. Jamie cut it right to the center so we can see it. Beautiful. And that is one of the recipes that you guys have been requesting from us pretty much since we started making cooking videos on this channel, which has actually been a long time, even though we took a hiatus and then we came back. But regardless, we did it. We made cinnamon rolls. That was a fairly easy recipe. There's another recipe that I used to use that I think was a little bit easier, which maybe we'll make next year. All right, you guys, we hope you enjoyed today's video. As always, thanks so much for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Stay positive, dream big. We will see you again soon. Goodbye, audience. Let us know what you want to see us make next down in the comments below.